Hey everyone, back after a quite few days. I've been kind of busy, but I've seen the views climbing up pretty quickly. I have six whole subscribers now. I literally feel so amazing right now. Thank you all. Right, um, please do subscribe if you enjoy this stuff you're hearing. I'll definitely I do try and publish at least once a day, but at least once every 2 days, I'll definitely keep to that. So today, uh, we have another episode of When Natalists Attack. And this is just this story just speaks to how children are just props. Dead, alive, unborn, I don't know, fucking reincarnated. They're just props to people. That's all they are. They're either props or an insurance policy or your aged care nurse when you're old and you can't wipe your own ass, so you need them to wipe it for you. That's all they are. They're not considered as individuals, as people. They're not considered as, sentient human beings of their own personal tastes and their own likes and dislikes. If they do express that individuality, especially within a school setting or a home setting, a lot of times it's suppressed very quickly. And I mean, when I talk about individuality, I don't necessarily mean just like, oh yeah, he's really good at running and playing soccer or whatever. I mean the negative attributes. Because for a child to learn how to lie and lie effectively, they have already dealt with unspeakable amounts of trauma. You want to demonize a child, that's on you, you know? I get it. Children can be like crazy annoying sometimes, but again, that's not really on them. They're children, right? Their brains are just like absorbing every bit of information they possibly can. These are fresh organisms that have just entered into this planet, and they're just learning everything they can, testing as many waters as they can, right? We put so much expectations on children, and then you wonder why they grow up into fucked up adults. Every time you hear somebody talking about, they want to have a baby, it's never about what the baby would want to do in life. Literally, I mean, it's not surprising the baby doesn't exist, so what the hell are they going to say about what they want to do with their life? It's always from the perspective of the parent, the mother or the father, right? I want to have a baby so I can do this, I can feel this, I can experience this, or I can pass this on, or I can, save my marriage or something. If you have to have a fucking child to save your marriage, it's already dead. It's already dead. Let it die, honestly. There's like literally, there is nothing selfless about having kids. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. You could come up with whatever convoluted scenario you would want, a scenario that probably wouldn't even be able to happen, but even, the world is pretty big, so let me not say that. Even then, if it's like having a child is gonna like save somebody's life or whatever the case, that child is not even gonna know what the fuck is going on for at least 2 years of their existence, right? They're not gonna know what the fuck you're talking about. They just shitting and farting and just crying all the time, literally. That's all they do. That's all they're gonna do for like the next 2 years, you know. But again, it's that messiah complex that a lot of human beings have. Their reproductive material is gonna create the fucking cure for HIV, cancer, and fucking pee pee poo poo itis, you know. They have convinced themselves that their genetic material is the consequential material in this entire fucking universe. But then, of course, their children turn out to be less than, or just basically average, or even less than average, right? Which is fine, honestly, which is fine, right? I don't think anybody has to be spectacular. I don't. It's not even a realistic expectation, right? I don't even expect people to do the bare minimum. In fact, if most people just did the absolute bare minimum, a lot more people would be a lot happier, honestly. I don't even care if people do the bare minimum. But, of course, when somebody's convinced that they have all the right reasons to have kids, is it far-fetched to believe that they would also have a good reason to end the lives of those kids? Oh, I could never, how could you say so? Shut up. You see the thumbnail. You literally see the thumbnail. This guy, and I try and I don't really give a shit about politics. I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on, but this guy was a QAnon conspiracy adherent. Probably was, yeah, it was definitely, like, it was a Trump dick rider, obviously, because QAnon and Trump are literally like the same spheres of lunacy. I know, but Biden, but I don't give a fuck about your fucking politics. I don't care, right? I'm just saying it how it is. This guy was so deep in his conspiratorial shit that he ended up offing his the two children you see in this thumbnail. He ended up offing both of them because he was convinced that they were lizard people. They were like paranormal aliens sent to end him or something from the cabal. You can read the whole story. I'm paraphrasing. I'm trying to find the words to explain this lunacy, but you have to read it yourself to truly understand what the fuck. Like, there's not even, you can't even understand this, right? This guy went down a rabbit hole of just complete mind-bending concepts, mind-bending rhetoric, and ended up offing his two children. Just like that. Just like that. What was the reason? I don't know if I insult natalists very much since I started this channel, but I'll try to keep it at a minimum, because I actually do want to reach more natalists. I do. I genuinely do. I do want to reach more natalists and get them to understand that your choice, whatever it may be, is arbitrary to me. The consequences, though, are things that we all have to partake in some way. This guy caused the death of his own children. You know how natalists get so riled up about their genetic material and, how their children are going to be geniuses and amazing, how they're going to pass on their legacy and blah, blah, like, This family had to carry 2 tiny coffins and put them in the ground. 2 of them. It's and like they say, it's the smallest coffins that are the heaviest. They say that. They say the smallest coffins are the heaviest ones. And yet it still doesn't click. Oh, let's try the 10th baby or the 12th baby, right? Maybe this time it's going to be different. You, as a potential parent or a parent, don't even consider your own mental health before you have kids. You don't consider your own mental state and what you can handle before you have kids. Then you have kids, and the kids become your reason for anguish in life, right? It's their fault that you hate your life, as if they told you that, as if they were coercing you into their own conception. It's their fault you're depressed. It's their fault you're broke. It's their fault you're stressing out. And yet, if that child somehow grows up and says, I'm not having children, what do the bots say? You're selfish. You're narcissistic. I don't know. Having kids. Life is a gift. Life is a gift. Oh, life is a gift. How could you deprive? What's the gift here? What is the divine plan? What is the fucking invisible hand of the cosmic universe doing here that's supposed to be so enlightening for people to see, or enlightening for me to see, or for you? What is this? Because I have to live in reality, and I'm basically seeing a picture of two children who ended up in coffins because of their lunatic father, their lunatic genetic material provider. You tell me what I'm supposed to feel about this. You're so different. This could never happen to you. You could never do something like this. I'm sure he probably thought that when his children were born. But here we are now. This story happened a while back. I can't remember how long ago, but you can check it out and read it for yourself. I say this, I bring stories like this, and there are many of them. Oh man, there are many of them. I bring up stories like this to really challenge your belief on what exactly the future is, on what exactly it takes for you to bring another life onto this planet. You are responsible. You have no life of your own once that child is born. For you to pretend like, oh yeah, I still have my so the child is an accessory. Like, thank you for admitting that the child is just an accessory to your life. We know this. We have known this. If this is something that you've contemplated, get help sincerely. Sincerely. Don't be the reason. How do I even explain this? Don't be the author of your own demise. Because this life is already the author of our own demise. But you thinking that your genetic material is gonna be so consequential for the rest of us, I can guarantee you, I'll at least speak for myself, it's not gonna be. So you can speak for the other 7,999,000,000 people out there who are like, yeah, definitely have that child, yeah. I hope these kinds of stories, even though they are biased, of course they're biased. I mean, I go looking for them, but I go looking for them so that before you consider bringing a child here, I want you to consider if you turn into that man. But thanks for listening. if you've made it this far. Please keep liking, keep subscribing, and please, please, please keep commenting. I need let your voice be heard. Let your opinion be heard, whatever it may be. I love reading comments. I love responding to comments. And I might start up a Discord in the future. Hopefully, if we can build this channel up enough. One thing I want to do is talk to anyone about pretty much anything, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily antinatalism or whatever, but I would like it to be, these difficult philosophical concepts. I would like it to be, but yeah, thanks so much for listening, and hopefully see you tomorrow.